It is Troy Tulowitzki bobblehead day at the ballpark. Tulowitzki and the Rockies looking to take 2 of 3 from the Chicago Cubs on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Thumbs up. Tulo's playing well, and the Rockies coming off a 9-3 victory last night against the Cubbies. Welcome upstairs, everybody. Happy Sunday to one and all with George Frazier. I'm Drew Goodman, and today we begin talking about the Rockies offense and who ignites that offense. One Dexter Fowler. It's a big difference when he is atop the lineup.
Well, yesterday I found it amazing to me that they would throw a changeup to a pitcher on a 3-2 count and come back to Dexter. And, oh, yeah, 3 for 6, the triple, the home run, the 4 RBI, stolen base in this series. He's done a little bit of everything, but they came back with a slider down and in. He made him to pay, put the Rockies on top 3-1 at that part of the ball game. They came back again with a deep sacrifice fly to drive in Todd Helton after he had doubled. So yesterday, big part of this offense, big part of the offense in this series, setting the table for the big boppers right behind him.
Well, everybody within the organization understands how important Dexter is to the lineup, particularly a guy who's been around for quite a while, the resident expert when it comes to guys in the lineup. Todd Helton spoke of the importance of Dexter.
Half the teams in Major League Baseball are looking for a leadoff hitter, a guy that can get on base and steal bases, but we got a guy that can also hit the ball out of the ballpark at the top of the order. And I tell you what, that when he had full count and he hit the double/triple, whatever, that's a quality at bat for me. You can get big in that situation right there, but he kind of watched the way the guy had been throwing all night long, and to me that was a good at bat.
Yeah, that was a great at bat. And Todd's a student of the game. We all know that. And Todd doesn't just look at results, he looks at process.
Well, that and the fact that I looked at last night with Todd when he was 3 for 3 and he came up with men on base and the game's out of reach, but he struck out. And it's the first time I've ever seen him and not first time, but first time I've seen him in emotion this year where he was mad. Because here's a guy 3 for 3. He's 1 step behind Babe Ruth, and you're mad over 3 for 3. It tells you what he is and what Drew's talking about, the student of the game, watching other at-bats and what it's meaningful at-bats every time in a ball game.
Yeah, and one other note on Dexter Fowler. Dexter, among leadoff hitters that have played at least 20 games, the leadoff role this year, he has the #1 slugging percentage in all of baseball. It's above 500. When we come back, we'll talk Tyler Chatwood. He'll have the rock today as the Rockies look to take 2 of 3 from Chicago. So I guess it's Fathead Day for Tulowitzki as well. And back upstairs with George Frazier, I'm Drew Goodman. Tyler Chatwood will go against Edwin Jackson this afternoon. Tyler Chatwood, George, has a sub-3 ERA, and it's not over 3 or 4 starts. It's now a dozen starts. You just got to love how competitive he is.
Well, and the thing is, when he does get traffic, he's able to flip double plays. With guys with 100 innings or less, he has 12, second in the National League behind Jake Westbrook, who is known for getting double play balls. That's with 100 or less innings pitched. So, I mean, this is a guy that can come in, he can punch out some people. The breaking ball command has gotten much better. The delivery, to me, is repeating itself over and over. So that's why you have the success. The command of the fastball, when he wants to throw it, he can throw it and put it where he wants. A very confident young man after 12 starts.
Very confident young man. He knows what he's doing on the mound. I think one day he's going to be a 15-game winner, at least in the big leagues. So he has it this afternoon, looking to take the Rockies to a 2 of 3 situation over the Cubs. Colorado, Chicago, come on back to Coors Field on a Sunday with us. Root Sports is brought to you by your 7 neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Frostbrewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. By King Soopers, more value for the way you live. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Tyler Chatwood leading the Rockies onto the field. And leading off for Chicago will be Luis Valbuena. He hit his 9th home run yesterday for Chicago. In fact, he drove in 2 of the 3 runs for the Cubs in their 9-3 defeat. Southwest batting order for Dale Swain. He'll have Starlin Castro playing shortstop, hitting behind Valbuena, and then Anthony Rizzo, Alfonso Soriano, and Nate Shearholtz. Junior Lake's been impressive in his first 2 days in the big leagues, 4 for 7. Darwin Barney will bat 7th. Wellington Castillo has caught every game in the series. And the veteran right-hander Edwin Jackson on the hill. And the numbers through 12 starts, very impressive. You're talking about a 2.5 ERA, George,
which
and a
ranks,
2-to-1 strikeout ratio.
Which ranks 7th in the National League with 10 or more starts. Kershaw leads it at 1.98. Locke, Corbin, Harvey, Liriano, and Wainwright, all a bunch of guys that are being thought of in the Cy Young type category. 71% of the time he'll use the fastball, nearing 93 miles an hour. Curveball, slider, equal opportunity. And then the changeup he'll use to left-handers predominantly.
Tyler Chatwood last worked 8 days ago in Los Angeles, and he went 8 innings through 98 pitches. It was a complete game because the Rockies lost 1-0. That was when Zach Greinke was terrific as well. Chatwood gave up a first inning run and then blanked the Dodgers over the next 7 innings. He allowed just 4 hits. Struck out 4, walked 2. And a diving stop and a scramble by Herrera, and he's got his man. Johnny Herrera, Johnny on the spot. A beautiful play to begin things on a Sunday afternoon.
Now we've seen a lot of this out of the second base position with LeMay, who's made a couple of these in the series from the knees. Johnny with his stop from the one knee and the throw over to Michael Kadire at first.
That was a beautiful play. So Johnny catches his breath. Starlin Castro will step in at the plate. Castro at 240. Got 1 knock in the series. Chatwood's fastball at 93 miles an hour. When you talk to catchers, Yorvi Torrealba working with Chatwood today, Willeen Rosario, they'll use the term a real heavy ball in describing the fastball of Chatwood.
Anytime you hold the ball 2 seams, you're going to create heaviness on the ball. And on a 4 seam, if you pronate, it's still going to create that heaviness on the baseball. And I think that's where guys, when you, it all goes with the grip. I mean, playing catch with a guy like Goose Gossage in my career was like playing catch with a feather. But then you would play catch with a Ron Davis and you thought you were catching a boat anchor. Chatwood throws the boat anchor.
Never caught a boat anchor, George.
It's heavy and it hurts.
Use gloves?
Yeah, 2 metal.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Castro.
The hard part about the slider, excuse me, the sinker running in on a right-hander's hands is they think they're going to have the opportunity to barrel the ball up. It ends up on the knuckles.
And this is a base hit to right for Starlin Castro. Let's take a look at the Excel Energy defensive alignment for Colorado. We bring you the energy you need so you can live the life you want. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. In the outfield, Cargos in left, Dexter is in center. Charlie Blackmon's getting a start in right. Cuddy moves to first base. Johnny Herrera, as you saw, is at second. It's Tulowitzki and Arenado on the left side. Yorvi is catching this afternoon. Here's Anthony Rizzo, and he bounces one through the right side. Stopping at second is Castro. The ball was just hitting the right spot. Otherwise, it's probably a twin killing if it's about 10 feet to the left of where it was.
Well, you've got Kadire at first holding the runner. That's what created the ball getting through.
Here's George, how he worked against the Dodgers last week.
4 hits in 8 innings over that span, a couple of walks, 98 pitches to accomplish what was his first major league complete ball game. Unfortunately, just matched up against a guy named Zach Greinke, who was pretty good that day himself.
Yeah, a little traffic and a very good bat and a hot bat at the plate in Alfonso Soriano, the leader of this Cubs team, not only statistically but in the clubhouse as well. The 37-year-old veteran bounces up there. It's 1-0. Soriano with 10 home runs in his last 18 ball games. He has one in the series.
235 is what the Cubs hit as a team with runners in scoring position. That's ranked 26th in all of baseball. 235, a big number.
Good fastball. That had a little
extra oomph behind it at 94.
And a lot of movement at the end. You call it carry on the ball. This ball carried. Looked at a late sink, and Torrealba able to handle it.
Chatwood looking for one of those ground balls, and this one's fouled off.
Catchers, particularly veteran guys, have the ability to read hitters better than, say, a young catcher. And what I mean by reading hitters, did they adjust their stance in the box? Did they open their front side more, anticipating that hard sinker so they could get the head of the bat to it? And so you'll see a lot of guys do different things to help you alert to it, like Torrealba just pointing out in front of the home plate area to Chatwood.
On the ground is short. Was it hit hard enough? One, and that's it. Good slide by Anthony Rizzo getting into Herrera. So it'll be first and third, 2 gone. And Nate Shearholtz will come up. We said it so many times, George, through the years. The outstanding pitchers, the ones that win 14, 15, 17, 19 games. It's not that they don't give up hits. All pitchers give up hits. But they get the big outs.
Well, they control innings.
And here's an opportunity.
Right. You just control the innings, what you do. I mean, that's a fastball away. It's a little bit elevated, but it had enough behind it that you get the ground ball. And Tulowitzki quick flip over to Herrera because he knows that Rizzo, even though he's a first baseman, he can run a little bit. He's got 5 stolen bases on the year, so he's going to get in quickly with it. With the speed at first and Soriano, Torrealba out giving the running signs. Am I going through with it? Am I going to snap? Am I going to hold it? Am I going to go to third? What am I going to do with the baseball?
Curveball, and that misses 1-0.
Sherrill's the only guy in the lineup that has seen Tyler Chatwood. He's 1 for 4 with a home run.
It's the first time Chatwood's ever faced the Cubs, but because he pitched in the American League, it's the 26th team in the big leagues he's pitched against. 2-0. First and third, 2 outs, just underway. Fastball off the plate. It's 3-0. Lance Barrett's calling balls and strikes. And he was accurate with that assessment of the pitch. It was wide. Bill Welke at first, Adrian Johnson at second, field, and Colbreth is at third. And a walk. So now the bases are loaded for Junior Lake. More work than you bargained for in the first frame.
Well, and the thing you normally don't see, 9 strikes, 7 balls, 16 pitches is all that's been thrown, but you've got traffic everywhere. Early swings by Rizzo. Valbueno put Ben on with base hits. I mean, Castro with a base hit. Both guys first pitch swinging. Soriano worked it to a 2-2 count before he hit the ground ball.
What Junior Lake has done, George, in his opening weekend in the big leagues is not unusual. Yeah, you have much more specific books that have been written on what guys have done in the minor leagues and how to pitch them than even when you were playing, George. But still, you see guys come out of the gate oftentimes very hot until big league pitchers get a sense on how to work them. And Junior Lake has swung the bat well through 2 ball games. He's in a ditch right now, 0-2.
Well, exactly. You find the holes. The holes get advertised. He's complaining that ball's low. It's a pretty good strike on the outside corner. A lot of young players come to the big leagues. They'll hit home runs. They drive in runs, and everybody gets, wow, look what we got. And then a month later, they're hitting 250 or 240 and came back to the reality again.
Slider way outside, and it's 1-2. Junior Lake, a career .271 hitter in the minor leagues. We told the story on Friday. He came up through the minor leagues as a shortstop with Starlin Castro, and they were both very well thought of. Castro took off and got to the big leagues at an accelerated rate. Junior Lake now arriving a few years later. Athletic kid. 2-2. 6'3", 215 pounds, a native of the Dominican Republic. Well, now it's back even. Bases full of Cubs here in the first frame. Made a pitch. 95-mile-an-hour sinking fastball. And Tyler Chatwood works out of a mess in the first inning without any damage being done. Last night, 9 runs, 13 hits against the Cubs. And it always begins with Dexter Fowler. He's batting .288. He's got 11 home runs. He's 3 for 6 in the series. And he'll be followed in the Southwest batting order in this fashion. Charlie Blackmon's going to bat second, so a little bit of a change. Walt Weiss wanted to break up the lefties with Blackmon in the 2-hole, so Tulowitzki will bat third today. Cargo will bat fourth. Then Kadire, Arenado, Torrealba, Herrera, and Chatwood. And folks, the Rockies, for their first 5, have faced Edwin Jackson. The only guy who's not is Blackmon. Between Fowler, Tulowitzki, Gonzalez, and Kadire, they are a combined 17 for 26 against Edwin Jackson.
Well, not only that, his 4 career starts at Coors. You think 6-10 and 5-11's bad. How about 0-1, 17.40 ERA? They've hit .450 against him, 34 hits and 15 plus innings. 63% fastballs. You will see the slider, not much curveballs, changeup, but the slider fastball is what he's lived off of. His first 15 starts weren't very pretty. 3-10, 584 earned run average, but he must have figured something out, because his last 3, he's 3-0 with a 1.93 earned run average.
Yeah, he's been very good of late. And talking to some people with the Cubs, it's been his slider that has been much better. It's inside.
Last time he won 4 consecutive starts, you had to go back to 2008 with Tampa.
Jackson last year pitched for the Nationals, 10-11, a 4.03 ERA in 31 starts. He's always been well thought of for a couple of reasons. One, he doesn't turn down the baseball, Georgie. He's a guy that pitches a lot of innings. He has a great arm, clearly, since the mid-90s. He's thrown a no-hitter in the big leagues. So he's a guy that has been termed an innings eater. But he's moved around.
Stuff never matches results. Tremendous stuff. To the point you think 15, 16, 17 game winner. But it just never happens. The last start here, Coors Field, didn't have a whole lot of fun with it. 10 hits, 8 runs in that ball game, all in just 3 innings. I mentioned his starts here at Coors Field: 34 hits, 29 earned runs in 15 innings. So this is obviously not a place he likes to have fun in.
Charlie Blackmon, 3 for 24 in his career against the Cubs, will step in. Charlie getting the start in right field. Jackson's been known also to spray his fastball. He threw a no-hitter June 25th, 2010 with Arizona against Tampa. He walked 8 in that ball game, though. And this ball is well hit to left. Soriano going back, still going back, can't make the catch, and it takes a hop over the left field wall, so it's a ground rule double for Charlie Blackmon. It's hard to hit it over Soriano's head, Fraze, because normally he's playing around the warning track.
Well, this time playing fairly shallow, and I don't think he got a good break on the baseball. I don't think he felt like it was hit that hard off of Charlie's bat. So when you're playing as shallow as he was on this, Blackmon gets on top of it enough to get some carry on the baseball. Soriano takes back, and when he went back on the baseball, he didn't necessarily go at it hard. He kind of floated back on the baseball, then well out of his reach up into the stands on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo.
So a 1-out double for Blackmon, and here comes Tulowitzki, who was 0 for 10 in Los Angeles, returning from the disabled list. But here against the Cubs, back-to-back 2-hit nights. 2 for 5 yesterday. He was 2 for 3 on Friday. Drove in 2 late yesterday with a double down the left field line. And that's sliced into the crowd foul. Tulo is 4 for 5 against Edwin Jackson. And the man on deck, Carlos Gonzalez, is 5 for 7 with 5 RBIs against Edwin Jackson. And if you like those numbers, you like the fact that Kadire is 5 for 9 with a home run and a triple and 6 RBIs against Edwin Jackson. There's a trend there. High fly ball, deep right field. If it stays fair, it's got a chance. Foul ball. Kadire hit one up in that very same section last night, flirting with a foul pole home run to the opposite field.
Got a ball elevated, but when you have the type of velocity Jackson has, even when you swing late, it's got a chance. The strength of Jackson matching the strength of Tulowitzki, it ends up can be out of the ballpark in a hurry. Somebody make a went into those seats. That's about 10-12 feet foul, and probably had the distance, or at least close enough. Well, you talked about his slider. If he has the confidence in it, now's a good time to throw it.
76 and 81 in his big league career, 4.45 ERA. Today his 223rd career start. He's pitched in both the American and National Leagues. And success has followed him in terms of team success. He's been in the postseason 3 times. Part of the 2011 World Champion Cardinals team. Last year was in the postseason with Washington. 0-2 on Tulowitzki. He went to the slider, George, but it was down and in.
You got to keep your hands on top of the slider here and really get extension across. Edwin appears to be about 6 inches across the body, so it really makes it difficult for you to get up on top. Watch his fingers as it comes through the ball. Are they off to the side or truly on top? You could see very plainly that they were onto the side of the baseball. That's why it backed up.
One-two, and it is hit softly to third. Valbuena ends up making a very good play. He cut in front of Starlin Castro.
Yeah, but you know what? That ball wouldn't hit that hard. And I don't think if Valbuena didn't get to the baseball, I don't think Castro throws him out because he laid back. Watch, you're going to see where he lays back on this baseball. See, he's staying back waiting to catch the ball about 10 feet behind Valbuena. I don't think he would have gotten Tulowitzki. I really don't. I mean, Valbuena really ranged far to his glove side to get to that baseball. Castro didn't come charging at it either.
So here's Cargo with 2 outs and Blackman at second. Cargo in the 4th spot in the lineup for just the 2nd time this year.
And he loves the Cubs, and when they come to town, think about this: active players average against the Cubs with 20 or more games, not at bats, but games.
Line drive, left field. Soriano to the baseball quickly. The throw is cut off. Blackman will score. 1-0 Rockies. Carlos Gonzalez coming through.
The average will go up too. He leads it at 389, so it'll be up above the 390 mark after this.
Didn't try to do a ton with it, George.
Among the players that are here, wanted the fastball in. He missed by a good 18 inches, and Gonzalez just took it to the other side of the field. Soriano, for all the great things that he is, his arm's still second base arm. So that way you take advantage, and particularly with 2 outs. Blackman on the move at contact. And they did a really good job of cutting that bag. Poor job of picking up the bat and getting it out of his way.
Stolen base situation perhaps here for Cargo. He's got 16. Cuddy drives one right center field. This one's going to touch down. Chance for Cargo to score from first. He will easily. Run-scoring double, Michael Kadire. And Edwin Jackson right now saying deja vu.
Tries to work ahead with his fastball, but when it's elevated, it becomes pretty straight. When you know that's happening, you can do damage. Kadire now 6 for 10 in his career versus Edwin Jackson with this drive off the wall and his 56th RBI.
The Cuddy man can. Michael leading the National League with a .344 average against right-handed pitching.
The Rockies, when they score first at Coors, 11 games over 500 at 19-8.
Cuddy ahead of Joey Votto.
Left-handed hitter.
Yeah, Chu, left-handed hitter for Cincinnati. Show that graphic again, folks, if you, Michael, if you could. Talking to Mike out loud in our truck. Just want to see the 4th name on there. Probably is another left-handed. Well, it's Alan Craig of St. Louis. He hits everybody. It's righties and lefties. But that's quite an average. There's the group. So Kadire, a 2-out double after a 2-out run scoring single by Cargo. 2-0 Colorado. Now it'd be a great time for Nolan Arenado to break out of an 0 for 15. 1-1 count. Nolan hit .303 in June. Had an opportunity to look at the Cubs defensively officially. It's brought to you by Excel Energy, making choices that fit your life. Excel will provide you the energy to power it. Visit responsiblebynature.com to learn more. Soriano, Lake, Shearholtz in the outfield. Valbuena, Castro, Barney, and Rizzo. Wellington, Castillo behind the plate. 1-2 on Nolan Arenado. And Nolan pops it up. Darwin Barney calling for it. And he makes a catch. But the Rockies get a pair of doubles, also a run-scoring single. They're up 2-0.
Brought to you by the Honey Smoked Fish Company, a ready-to-eat energizing superfood you can add to any dish that's healthy and delicious. And with that, we check in with Mark Stout. Mark, how are you on this fine Sunday?
Doing great. Great day to have a Tulo bobblehead, and a great day for number 2. It brings back a lot of childhood memories for him.
Some memories of standing outside the Oakland Coliseum waiting for some bobbleheads. So get a chance to drive the field in the morning. You see people starting to somewhat line up out there. My father's in town, and he's a fan himself, so he's excited for the bobblehead. It's just a cool thing. It's kind of like seeing your baseball card. It's a similar thing.
So second bobblehead for Tulo. This is number 7 of the 10 they're giving away this year for the 20th anniversary celebration, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty neat stuff. You know what, George? I've never asked you this. I've seen, a million of your cards. Everyone had that black paste-on mustache you wore throughout your career. The first time you saw your baseball card,
that's pretty cool.
Was it pretty cool?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you actually feel like you kind of semi-made it into pro baseball at the time when you see that first card. Then you get the first one in the mail. People want you to sign some things. I mean, that's pretty neat when that kind of stuff happens.
And George and Jeff still get a ton of baseball cards sent to the Rockies.
Yeah, it's funny. I get a lot here at the Rockies. I average about 200 a month between home and here. Both places. I get a lot at home. A guy printed a book out. I don't know where it is or what the name of it is, but printed a book years ago with all the former players' home addresses or last known addresses in it. So you get an awful lot of stuff at home.
And for those that don't have the book, grab a pen right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's George's home address, George Kay in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's 2411
yeah, West G Street.
West G Street.
Don't send
it's
it there.
120.
That is totally wrong. So don't send it to people in Jinx are going to be hot. Don't do that.
Kadire a nice play, and Castillo's retired.
You know, it's funny. Some people will do search engines, and for whatever reason, I think when my son was building his house, I put the water bill with my name because he was gone, he was working, and so everybody thought it was my house. So he starts getting all these baseball cards sent over to the house because the water bill was in my name. And I go, I don't live in Fayetteville, Arkansas.
You know what I think, George? I think I just may tweet it out later.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Is that all right?
That's all right. I don't mind.
Edwin Jackson at the plate. 2 quick outs from Chatwood. And Edwin Jackson, who makes his off-season home in Atlanta.
I want to know who these guys are to go around and take your picture. They got a picture of me coming in an old pickup from a hunting trip one time.
Really?
It was on the internet.
That was me because
was it?
In the off season.
I was wondering.
In the off season, I worked for TMZ.
There you go. You watched that show too, or you wouldn't have known. See, caught you. See, you told me I never watch any of the reality, none of that news stuff, but I watch it.
TMZ News.
Caught you.
Here's the 1-2 on Jackson. And a chance for Johnny Herrera. That's a good inning from Chatwood. Dougie, how many pitches was that? That was a 9-pitch inning. That will work. 2-0 Colorado.
Save of the Week is brought to you by the Region's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your local consumer-owned electric cooperative delivering reliable power, energy-saving tools, and more. Visit TogetherWeSave.com. Rafael Betancourt got the save last Sunday as the Rockies prevailed 3-1. Unfortunately, Rafi's not going to save any games for at least the next couple of weeks. He's on the disabled list as he had an appendectomy more than 24 hours ago. Mitchell Boggs, who threw last night, was recalled from Tulsa, just picked up recently with the St. Louis Cardinals organization, where he led the National League in holds last year. Great side story to Rafael Betancourt. Now, we're around him every day. He and Matt Belisle are very good friends, and they're cut from the same cloth. They're tough guys. And Rafi was, I guess, sick to his stomach the night before, and spent the whole night up and not doing well. Comes to the ballpark with his son, little Rafi, who's a fixture in the clubhouse, who's 10. And he's inside George lifting weights. He didn't go in and see Doogie. He didn't go in and see Scotty Garrett. And it was little Rafi who went in and told Doogie and Scotty that Dad really was feeling very poor the night before. And so they went in the weight room on the ground from Torrealba to Castro. They went in the weight room and summoned him to the training room, and they looked at him, and they saw that he was very tender to the touch in that lower right quadrant, as it was described, which to those guys who know, it's indicative of possibly being an appendix.
Yeah, once it locates, and once it localizes, once that pain starts to localize, it's a pretty good indication that's what you got.
So little Rafi told on Dad, but thank goodness he did.
Yeah, he did. He got it out in the nick of time.
One out, Johnny Herrera at the plate.
And you have to put him on a 15-day DL. I know Dan O'Dowd and I had a conversation one day about why don't they put a 7-day DL at the big league level just like they have at a minor league level, because these guys are in such great shape that, you know, their abs aren't like mine. They can come back pretty quick from stuff like this, but it'll be a 15-day wait. Throw a little bit here. I guarantee you he'll feel really good about tomorrow.
Well, I wonder if they'll add some things to the 7-day major league DL with concussions. They have the 7-day DL.
Right.
They just added
but
that.
I mean, if they just add, you know, just you can go on the 7-day DL if it's not something there, because what you do a lot of times, you carry players, as they did Dexter, for 4 or 5 days, not knowing whether he's going to go on the DL or not. Or you could put him on a 7-day deal, treat it, get him back, have a player there, and be at full strength.
Yeah, but it
only makes sense.
Yeah, in this particular case, so specific to Rafael Betancourt, as tough as Rafi is, you can't come back in 1 week from having an operation. No. Tyler Chatwood with 2 outs and nobody on. Tyler hitting .320 this year, and he's driven in 5. Who wants tacos? Remember, if the Rockies score 7 or more during the ball game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. You can do that later this afternoon as you leave the yard. So the Rockies scored 9 last night. Rockies up 2-0. And Chatwood bounces one to Barney. So Jackson a much better second inning than first inning. Off to the third we go. Colorado 2, Chicago nothing. third inning. Top of the order coming up for the Cubs after watching the Rockies this afternoon. Stick around for Rockies Weekly here on Root Sports. This week we're on the scene with the Rockies All-Stars in New York. We'll hear from Walt Weiss on the team's first half. And we'll take a look at a local semi-pro team, the Denver Browns. Don't miss Rockies Weekly. That's today after the game. Cargo's driven in a run with a base hit. Michael Kadire an RBI double. Luis Valbuena doing a little gardening in the batter's box, getting ready to go. 9-pitch second inning for Tyler Chatwood, who's 5-3 with a .256. Game 3 of a 10-game homestand. It's game 3 of a 10-game road trip for the Cubs. That is foul by about a yard. We have a special guest. We've kicked Frazier to the curb, which is, never a bad thing for the moment. And Dave Christensen, of course, joins us. Dave, the head coach at the University of Wyoming. And Dave has about another, a week to enjoy the summer, and then you are full go, my friend.
Well, I'm full go right now. I'm heading down to Vegas from here for our conference meetings and media day, and back in the office after that, and we're back at it. So we're excited about it.
It's kind of cool today. This wouldn't be a bad practice day, would it?
Oh, this is great. I wish we had this kind of temperature up there, but I always remind our kids we got to work harder than everybody else because we have the coolest training camp in America.
Do you know what else? All your kids through the years that you have take snaps under center better have a good arm, because you have to cut through that Wyoming wind.
There's a little bit of wind up there. We'll have a few wind gusts, but yeah, our guys we're fortunate. We have quarterbacks with strong arms, and it's not been much of an issue for us.
Dave, following you from afar, you had a young football team, I know, last year, kind of a transition type of year. What are the prospects as you look forward to the autumn?
Well, there's a lot of unknowns, and for the first time since I've been there, we were able to redshirt a full class of kids. We redshirted 18 kids last year. We'd done that. We'd redshirted 18 the 3 years combined prior to that together. So we had an opportunity to have a developmental year for some of these kids. So it's exciting to watch their development. And like I said, there's a lot of unknowns, but I certainly like the prospects and how they've worked and looked in spring. And we're excited about going into training camp.
1-out single for Starlin Castro. I know you're a big baseball fan because you joined us in broadcasts in the past. Did you get down? Have you gotten down at all?
This is my first opportunity. I'd like to get back down. We're going to give the staff the weekend off this coming weekend. I might try to come back down again to watch them. But yeah, I am a baseball fan, particularly in person. I love to go to the ballpark.
Good deal. Well, we're going to see a lot of you this fall, as you know, because we're carrying a number of Wyoming football games here on Root Sports. Anthony Rizzo takes down low, and it'll begin September 7th when you take on Idaho, and then 4 conference games this year. We're showing you the entire Mountain West Conference schedule that we have on Root Sports, but you'll see Wyoming quite a bit. The Great Tilt on October 19th, the border war with the Rams, and San Jose State on the road, Utah State on the road. It's going to be a competitive schedule.
Well, it is, and we're excited to be on Root Sports, and it's in a lot of our recruiting areas, and it's great exposure, great coverage, and we're just thrilled to be able to have 5 of our games on with you guys.
No, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I feel like you guys have always done a tremendous job of finding diamonds in the rough. This is bounced to the diamond. Hold on, there's one, and there's 2. That's pretty athletic double play, isn't it?
That was a great play.
Yeah, very, very quickly, because I know you got to run. You guys do a great job in recruiting, and you recruit in this state also, Colorado, quite heavily. You find diamonds in the rough.
Well, we know we're not going to get the finished product, and so we're going to go find guys that have a lot of potential on them, and we've got to develop that potential and get them to their best. And that's why we need the developmental year. That's why the redshirting 18 kids last year was big for us, because we're able to redshirt and develop those guys for an extra year.
Dave, we look forward to seeing you quite a bit this fall. Best of luck as you get ready.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Look forward to being on with you guys.
You bet. Coach Dave Christensen of Wyoming. 2-0 Colorado, and Dexter Fowler leading off the bottom of the third. Big thanks again to Dave Christensen, head coach at the University of Wyoming. And this is slowly hit to first. Rizzo's got to wait and flip, and he gets it to Jackson for out number 1. I'm excited about football starting. Hey, the Broncos open camp on Thursday. The college programs here in the area not far behind. Rockies fans, text Toyota followed by your question to 720-720 and watch as your questions are answered during the 5th inning of every ball game. Well, the Rockies got 2 in the first inning, and the rally was started by this man, Charlie Blackmon, getting a start in right field. Charlie lined a ground rule double over the head of Alfonso Soriano in left. And then with 2 outs, Carlos Gonzalez ripped a base hit to left. And that was followed by a long double to right center by Michael Kadire. That's why the Rockies are up 2-0. One ball, 1 strike on Blackmon. Excited about our Root Sports football schedule.
I tell you what, I go to Wyoming all the time with Tracy to watch games. He has that Wyomania where a lot of baseball people come in, spend the whole weekend, and they take off. They go watch a lot of football, basketball. It's an exciting weekend that people come into it, but it's neat up there, man. I have a great time on that campus.
I second that. I really enjoy going to Laramie. I was up there with Dougie quite a bit this winter calling Wyoming basketball. Great town. And there are a ton, we've talked about it before, there are a ton, I'm not exaggerating, a ton of season ticket holders from Cheyenne and Laramie, and we have a great number of folks watching the Rockies on a daily basis. We appreciate all of you. 1-2 on Blackmon. 2-2. And once again, here's a glimpse at that schedule on Root Sports. Colgate. Almost went to Colgate, George. Did you know that?
What were you gonna play football there?
They made a mistake and recruited me to do that, and they're going to be at Air Force on August 31st, and then Idaho at Wyoming, New Mexico State, New Mexico. That's always a great battle, and then 2 big battles in the Mountain West that have tradition behind them. New Mexico at Wyoming, and the Border Wars. We mentioned the Rams and the Pokes. 3-2 on Charlie Blackmon. This is bounced to Barney. Easy play for Darwin Barney. Good little lesson there defensively, even for the guys who are the best in the world. And that was, as we used to call Georgia, room service hop to Barney. But you see how he just looked it all the way into his glove, even though, I mean, it's the easiest of plays. But fundamentally, look how sound he is.
Well, it's like a pitcher that repeats his delivery. You get good results. If you're a baseball player and you repeat the fundamentals of fielding a baseball, you're going to get good results. Center of the body. And then that's the thing, the footwork. Watch how he plants and sets himself with a strong throw to first base.
6 in a row set down after that Kadire double by Edwin Jackson, and it's going to be 7 in a row. 3 innings complete at Coors Field. The Rockies 2 and the Cubs nothing.
2-0 on the Cubs on this Sunday afternoon. And it's time for our AT&T trivia question. This has to do with Troy Tulowitzki. It's Tulo bobblehead day. Tulo is one of 8 players that have attempted to steal home as a Rocky, as a shortstop. So 8 shortstops that attempted to steal home. Only one has been successful. Think about it. We'll get you the answer in the bottom of the inning.
So
which shortstop?
wait, I
Which
gotta
guy?
ask a question here. You said
listening.
one of 8 Rocky shortstops?
Yes. Played shortstop for the Rockies. 8 guys. They attempted to steal home. Only one was successful.
See, the key is that played shortstop for the Rockies.
Right. Now, they
As
weren't
a shortstop.
Were they playing shortstop that day?
In the game. Yes. Shortstop in a Rockies uniform.
I think you're trying to trick us.
Trying
Mark.
to take home plate, steal, double steal, straight steal, whatever.
I think you're trying to trick us. Here's
If you need a hint, let me know.
Okay. I'm thinking, was this a guy that was with the Rockies earlier this year?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's a guy in the stadium, though. I'm leaving it at that.
All right.
It's Tulo bobblehead day.
That narrows it down.
It does.
This is looped to right for a base hit by Soriano. Blackman will return it to the infield. So a leadoff single for Alfonso Soriano, and that'll bring up Nate Shearholtz.
Coca-Cola value packs are all available for the Rockies-Marlins series July 22nd through the 25th for either $59 or $79. Depending on your seat location, it's a great deal. You get 4 tickets, hot dogs, Cokes, and a whole lot more. 303 Rockies or Rockies.com to pick up your Coca-Cola value pack for that series against the Marlins. And by the way, Marlins playing a little better baseball. 19 of 16 in their last 35 ball games.
Shearholtz walked his first time on 4 pitches. How about that double play that ended last inning, started by Michael Kadire?
For a guy that doesn't play first a whole lot, pretty good.
3-6-3 double play. One of the more difficult double plays to turn.
Nice part was his exchange on the way down. He was still airborne when he made the exchange into his hands. So when he hit, his feet were already preset and made it easy to throw.
Soriano going, and he's cut down by Torrealba. George, we've seen your V for a number of years in a Rockies uniform. This is his second tour of duty. The arm strength, not what it was when he came up with the Giants, but you know what? He's throwing the ball more consistently than we've ever seen him.
9 of 32 now, right at 26% for him. You see it on the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo. See where the tag applied. Did the hand get in? It did not. Good call by Adrian Johnson. Well, part of that is, too, he's not being worn down. You catch 2 games a week, maybe 3 at the most. You can see really how set up, and then he gets a little pumped. He's got a lot of emotion, just like when Chatwood got out of that first inning. He had the fist pumps on the strikeouts walking to the dugout.
1-2 on Shearholtz. Good transition and a strikeout. Good transition by your V on that throw. Talk so much about arm strength, but you better have great footwork behind the plate. You can compensate for arm strength with the footwork and the quickness of getting rid of the baseball.
But you still
all contributes to your pop time.
You really have to stay behind the ball. But watch how he's turned sideways when the throw comes. His body's already rotated into a throwing position as he's set up on that outside half. That helped eliminate a move to get squared up.
1 strike on Junior Lake. He struck out with the bases loaded on a 95-mile-an-hour sinking fastball in the first inning.
And Drew, talking about pop time, the only thing, you get a guy at 185, obviously he's off the charts, 1.7. But it's also he can be too flat if his pitchers are 1-2 to the plate. That's the difference too. You get a pitcher that's slow to the plate, then it can be harder on a catcher. Nice play for Arenado, getting the dugout, scores more runs.
A lot of ground balls, typical of a Tyler Chatwood outing. 2-0 Colorado.
Have a 2-0 lead as we go bottom 4. And
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What, Fraser?
I'm still figuring this out. Is he in uniform or is he out of uniform?
He's in uniform.
In uniform?
Yes. So
really?
It's the AT&T trivia answer. The question was, and I worded it wrong. I knew I would.
Well, you can't do that to me now. How can you do that?
It's wordy. That's the problem. So 8 guys playing shortstop in a game in a Rockies uniform attempted to steal home. 1 was successful.
What was?
1996, May the 5th. I asked him if he remembered it today. He said no. Back end of a double steal with EY. Ellis Berkston hit a home run next batter. They beat the Pirates 5-4 on a Sunday afternoon like this. Troy Tulowitzki tried it.
Talk fast. There's going to be a home run here in a minute.
Atkins got thrown out. Atkins got thrown out at second, and then Tulo got thrown out at home on a double play. Ended the inning.
Deep short because of the shift, and Cargo beat it.
He beat it, and I think Rizzo came off early, too. Wilkie did a good call on that. I want to see this on the Mike Shaw Subaru. I got the truck scrambling to see if they have all this on the Subaru. I bet they do. Playing a shift, you're going to see it right where the shortstop normally plays. Castro, underhand throw, everything there's perfect. It's just the speed outran it. So now the Mike Shaw Subaru, well, you'll see it here in a minute. You know what? I don't think he did leave early. I thought he might have stepped out a little bit early, but he did beat it, but not by much. Good call.
Cargo had the call before Welke did. He's just trying to help out Bill. Pretty close. Cargo dives back in. 16 bags, as I mentioned earlier, for Carlos Gonzalez, leads the Rockies.
Well, and Edwin Jackson, horrible at holding runners, having the ability. They're 12 of 13 in the league right now. Stolen bases against him.
Cargo on pace for a potential 30-30 season.
If you take away was Castillo catching, he's 12 for 43 otherwise. So not too bad. 23% overall.
Gonzalez 3 straight years of at least 20 stolen bases. Career high is 26. 2010 when he won a batting title. And you know, I think Michael Kadire, just watching his patience at the plate, I think he's giving him an opportunity to run.
Well, he should.
Yeah, 1 ball, 1 strike on Cuddy. Look at it's not just the number, it's the percentage.
Yeah, sure. 94% of the time success rate. How often's that? That's pretty cool. Fans a little disgruntled with all the throws over there, but I'm telling you what, I mean, that's what you got to do as a pitcher for a guy that's not successful holding guys or giving your catcher an opportunity.
And Cuddy slices that one in the stands. Pay attention. That break a windshield right there. If you have auto glass damage, call Safelite Auto Glass 303-287-5000 or go to safelight.com. Everybody's okay. And another huge crowd at Coors Field. More than 90,000 for the first 2 games of this series.
Last night, third deck on the right field side, completely full. Well, Friday night we'll be up at the Camarena Loft. It's having a good time up there today, so if you have an opportunity to show up on Friday, love to see you up there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll make the trek out to the Camarena Loft.
Wow, great job by Castillo. That ball hit 3 feet out in front of home plate, maybe 4.
And when you block as a catcher, when that pitch gets blocked, there's a lot of luck involved.
No, it's 100% luck. You know where that thing's going. Look, he's standing up. It could have shot right between his legs. You're just hoping this thing bounces. I mean, look at the hole between those legs when the ball popped up on it.
Remember the old line, about 58-footer? That was about 55 feet.
That was at 14 and under curveball.
Two. Cargo takes off inside, throw to second, not going to get him. Cargo's got 17 stolen bases.
Yeah, they're asking for interference over here right now. They're going to come out and talk to Lance Barrett about it. Castillo may have a little bit of an argument here, too. We'll see what happens. You're going to see it from up here. Big jump by him, looking back to the inside of it. Dove well out in front. Hand is just in there, right over the top of the bag. Now, Dale Swaim's argument is right there. Did Kadyr's elbows get out over the middle of the plate and impede the throw of Castillo? See, as a hitter, you have the right to stay in the box.
You know what? He didn't do anything that was. He didn't do anything that wasn't, oriented toward getting out of the way of a pitch that was down and in, lifting the foot. And yesterday, DJ LeMahieu did a pretty good job.
He got away with one.
Yeah, he did get away with one, creating an obstruction call on Starlin Castro. Here's the 3-2 on Cuddy, and that is slowly hit to third. Valbuena throws to Rizzo. Rizzo had to work down the line to make the catch. One out. Cargo can't advance on that. And that'll bring up Nolan Arenado, who's 0 for 1.
Yeah, Nolan in a little bit of a slump right now. This is a perfect situation to put a big smile on his face. He got an RBI last night on a ground out to first base. But get a base hit, drive in a run. Let's start a run here where you can knock in a few runs, get a few knocks, get a smile back on the face. 28 RBIs. He got that one last night, the 28th.
Rockies up 2-0. Junior Lake shaded toward right center with Arenado.
Yeah, they're going to pitch him away, too.
Talked to Nolan in the clubhouse this morning about his All-Star break. He went home to his folks in Southern California.
He was home. He was home when it ended. Didn't have to go anywhere. He was in LA. It was nice.
Yeah, just stayed out there, worked nicely. I said, "You do anything baseball oriented?" And figuring most guys just want to stay, get away.
Not him.
And he said he hit one day with Dad, just like old times. Dad threw him BP. He's going to hit, George. You watch a lot of his games in Tulsa.
He's going to hit.
He's going to hit. He's making the transition as a young man in the big leagues. And one thing he ought to be very proud of, and you and I were discussing this during a commercial break in this ball game, he has not taken his bat when he has struggled out to the field.
Going to be a Gold Glove third baseman. He might be this year.
I don't know of a guy playing better defensively at third in the National League inside.
Well, and what's unfair, and I was talking to a few scouts downstairs about that, and they were talking about Castro. When you have great range and you get to a lot of balls other guys don't do, and you throw the ball away at first, you end up with an error. A lot of guys, they're base hits.
It wasn't an option to have an error. They didn't get to the baseball.
Right, because the ball's in the outfield on the ground.
2-1 on Nolan. On the swing.
I'm not sure he went around there.
From up here, it didn't look that way.
Didn't appear to be here. Let's take a look at on the overhead. Yeah, I didn't think he did. I thought he locked his wrist up pretty good.
When you're struggling, though, you get a lot of those tentative, I'm not sure, and when things are going well, you get that A swing off frequently. Cargo at second with one out. You know what's going through Cargo's mind right now? If he can get a decent jump with one out, try to swipe third.
And is it a good move, bad move? You've got Barney holding him on there. He's going to score on a base hit either way. You know, I mean, if you happen to get a strikeout on a fastball and they throw you out.
Well,
so that's the 50-50 side of it. You know, if you got a guy on the mound that throws a lot of splits and a chance for wild pitches, makes sense.
Well, if you get there and somehow it's ball 3, now if Arenado, you got to probably pull the infield in, or the way Chatwood's throwing, and you have an opportunity scoring fly ball, punch a ball through the infield. Not going, and this is on the ground at second. Torrealba will come up with Gonzalez at third and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, congratulations to Mallory Banks from Loveland, grand prize winner of the Cheyenne Frontier Day sweepstakes. Mallory will receive hotel accommodations, VIP tickets to the Cheyenne Bull Riding Championships, VIP treatment at a Cheyenne Frontier Days concert of her choice, a new Western wardrobe, and much more. Log on to CFTRodeo.com for tickets, information, and updates. Old Cheyenne gets going with that tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Should be an awful lot of fun up there. I know Tracy's going up tomorrow along with Jenny to do a few segments, tape a few things up there. You see him on the pregame show this week.
You got to go last year. Were you and Huey?
Nothing like it. No, Huey didn't go up. Just me.
Huey spends a lot of time there. His mother-in-law and father-in-law live in Cheyenne. There's the 0-1 on Torrealba. Good block by Castillo. He's pretty quiet behind the plate.
When you have trust in your hands, it allows you to be quiet. And you can anticipate, knowing your pitching staff, of when they do bounce it, where it's going.
One and one on your V. Brought a 287 average into the ball game. And that's a little comebacker to Edwin Jackson. And you got to give Jackson credit after the first inning with his 17+ ERA at Coors Field. Didn't look good, but 3 scoreless since then. Look back. Well, let's look back on the bottom of the first inning. It was a productive one for the Rockies with 1 out. Charlie Blackmon had double. Cargo with 2 outs delivers him with a line shot to left. The very next hitter, Michael Kadire, and he launched a double to right center field. Cargo would come around from first, 2-0 Colorado. And that's where we stand. Quinny Lexus, where luxury has a new address, now open in Greenwood Village. Cargo's 2 for 2 offensively. The Rockies 2 runs, 4 hits, no runs on 4 hits for the Cubs against Tyler Chatwood in the 5th inning. Chatwood will have the bottom third of this Cubs order. Darwin Barney, Wellington Castillo, and Edwin Jackson. Pulled to third, not where you want to hit it. Arenado calmly throws across the diamond. It's our Toyota Talk inning. And our first question, when's the next bobblehead game? Well, Tulowitzki today. And we remind you, next Sunday, get here early because there'll be 20,000 bobbleheads of Ellis Burks given away.
There you go. also worked, I believe, Cleveland Indians, special assistant to the general manager. Dougie, Cleveland Indian media guy.
Ball one on Wellington Castillo. Wellington hit a hard shot right at Michael Kadire his first time up. It's down low. Did Nolan Arenado play third throughout the minor leagues? Luke and Centennial. Yes, he did. He's been a third baseman. Outside, 3-0. This kid's got great stuff, obviously. Mid-90s fastball that has great movement. And he lost Castillo on 4 pitches. A slider that's really come on this year. But I think the best attribute he has, George, is he is tough.
Very tough kid. I mean, think about it. 2 years ago, he had to make 20-something starts at the big league level at 20 years old for the Angels. For #1 draft pick, been a shortstop, done a lot of different things.
Jackson will be in a bunting situation. 1 out and 1 on. 2-0 Colorado. And that's a great bunt by Edwin. Chatwood hustling to it, and he makes a good throw to Herrera. Luis Valbuena is 0 for 2. A-Rod, you saw that news and notes sitting out. He's going to have an MRI on his quad. He was set to go to the Yankees and begin play again at the big league level tomorrow. It looks like it'll be on hold. Miami comes in tomorrow to take on the Rockies in a 4-game set, and then the Milwaukee Brewers over the weekend. Rockies haven't seen Milwaukee since the opening series of the season. Seems like a while ago, doesn't
See
it?
a few new faces on that club.
Yeah, they've had a rough season. Breaking ball, strike on Valbuena. What's the book Renee Latchman carries?
Well, he's keeping times on guys to the plate. He's keeping times on runners to first. When he's coaching first base, he makes a mental note of the move to the plate, the throw of the catcher, how much time it is. And it keeps it all in a book for himself and for helping further along the scouting report on each individual ball club. And there's a lot of work goes into a series, a 3-game series, that a lot of people don't see. Done by Brian Jones, Chris Warren. We do a lot of work down there with video and the paperwork side of things, and then the manager and the coaches will all keep notes during the course of a ball game to go over when the game's over, particularly if it's about making a player better. I mean, they'll keep something on there. Hey, in this situation, you did this. Why? They want to ask a player why he did that, and there's nobody excluded from that question.
How about Jonesy throwing out the first pitch today?
He's pretty excited. Third strike to. He and Matt Holliday were teammates in high school.
Stillwater High School. Brian went on to Oklahoma State, does a marvelous job running the video side of things for the Rockies.
Yeah,
and
sister.
Jonesy was nervous. And Jonesy's a good athlete. And he wanted to make sure he got it there. Look, you know what? He showed him the wallet. Tulowitzki had to move up, though, just in case, huh?
Well, no. Raz doesn't want anybody on the home plate area during after that. Yeah, everything's got to be done out front. Jonesy's sister works for Marcy, I think she works for the Oklahoma State baseball team as a director of baseball operations.
1-2's inside, 2-2. And his family fixtures at every sporting event for Oklahoma State. Drew, how many foul balls have you caught? Brian and Centennial. Yesterday, people kid about that. I think it's been like 3 over the years.
It's a long ways up here too.
Folks, there's about one every. George, what would you say, 2 or 3 years that come in here?
Yeah,
it doesn't happen much.
I mean,
here.
I've been here 17. I think there's been like 5. None of them ever come in here. I used to get out of the way just to see if Armstrong could really catch it. Dave, the previous guy, he never did. He's like 0 for whatever. But it's a long ways up here. Drew snagged that one. He reached out over, folks. I had to hold on to his feet while he reached out and made the catch.
Well, now you're exaggerating.
Well, it sounded good. Doug wasn't here, he would have had his other foot.
Well, that's another walk. Chatwood's third. He lost Valbuena. He's out in front of Valbuena. Now they're 2 on for Starlin Castro, who's 2 for 2.
Still just 63 pitches in the ball game for Chatwood. He had those short innings, 9 pitches, 8 pitches.
Is Willeen Rosario the best hitting catcher in the NL West? Buster Posey's the best hitting catcher in the NL West.
In
Buster,
baseball.
I mean, he's the reigning MVP in the National League. That's not being disrespectful to Willeen's offensive abilities. But Buster Posey is one of the best players in the game. Well, look at Castro, and now Lance Barrett hearing it from the Cubs dugout on that strike call.
Well, you got 5 guys up on the steps. I mean, they're all getting after it. Yeah, well, they're not talking about that part. They're talking about the height of the baseball. They're thinking that ball's low. There's a lot of yelling going on down there right now.
It's Sunday. You and I are relaxed.
You don't talk like that on Sunday.
1-1 on Castro.
The thing as a catcher too, you recognize if he's having difficulty with the fastball, go to a slider, go to a slow curveball. It'll get a pitcher right back into your arm slot of where it needs to be. And sometimes, particularly young guys, they want to throw it harder.
Two-1.
He went slider.
No, it didn't go. 3-1.
I want to see this one because if Nolan didn't go, or if Nolan went, let's see this one. Yeah, he didn't go either.
Yeah, he did not go. That's a good call. Castro has led the league in at-bats each of the last 2 years. He's leading the league again in at-bats this year. He's only had 1 off day this season. Got to make a pitch. 3-1.
Yeah, but it was a productive off day for him too, because right after that he had made an error. He's hit the ball better, played better.
Runners will be moving. 3-2, 2 outs. Castillo at second, Valbuena at first. Both walked. Rockies ahead 2-0. Fouled off. When is Todd Helton bobblehead day? September 25th.
He will not be forgotten.
No, I don't think so. Another 3-2. Loop to short, and that's all for the Cubs in the 5th inning. So the Cubs threatened with the 2 walks, but Castro with a little soft liner.
By the Ford Fiesta with 40 miles per gallon. It's a pretty big deal. Ford Fiesta, go further. By Comcast, advertise your business locally on the networks people watch. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. By Bluebell. Bluebell Ice Cream celebrates National Ice Cream Month in July. Try our newest flavor, Rock Slide Brownie, and celebrate with us today. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. With George Frazier and Mark Stout, I'm Drew Goodman. The Rockies shutting out the Cubs 2-0 behind Tyler Chatwood. In the 5th inning, it'll be Johnny Herrera, Chatwood, and Dexter Fowler to face Edwin Jackson, who Frazier has really settled in after a difficult first frame.
He has done outstanding, and a lot of it ground ball outs. You look back to it, only 1 strikeout over the last 3 innings. The rest have not been in the air, everything on the ground.
Johnny struck out his first time, one of a couple of strikeouts for Edwin Jackson. And that pitch misses, ball 1. Well, we thank you for texting in last half inning during Toyota Talk. For more answers to your question, visit the Root Sports Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRM. Hall of Famer Tracy Ringlesby standing by.
Boy, he's excited. Being around Coach Christensen, hanging out. Tracy's like the offensive coordinator / defensive coordinator.
Easy. Here's the thing. Look, we love Tracy. We know his allegiance to Wyoming. Coach Christensen doesn't want to meddle in any way, shape, or form.
So you mean the headsets? Here's the deal. They give him and Jack Spade headsets.
Center field, but Junior Lake's there, 1 out.
And they give it in the stands. They don't let him. They don't let him sit in the press box with the other coordinators. But they give him headsets. But apparently they don't turn them on and they're not connected. Is that what you're saying?
No, they're really connected to the radio broadcast.
Oh boy.
But it looks good. Chatwood grounded to second his first time, and he takes a strike. Rockies trying to win a series against the Cubs, and the Cubs over their last 8 series, listen to this, they've won 5 series. It's not against the Rockies, it's against everybody else. They've won 5 series, they've tied 1 series, and they've lost 2 series. So further evidence that this Cub team, despite a record of 9 games beneath 500, they've played good baseball the last couple of months.
Except against the National League West. You go all the way back to 2012. 2-19 versus the National League West.
Sharply hit. Valbuena makes a nice play. Long throw. Chatwood out by a step.
And it is a nice play. Not anticipating a ball hit this hard. You got a backhand spin around and then snap throw over. Chatwood, a really good athlete, runs well. And then backhand, plant the foot, give a glance, see Chatwood, see where he is up the line. How hard I got to cut it loose. He had to cut it loose.
2 outs and nobody on base. Dexter Fowler 0 for 2. Todd had high praise. Todd Helton had high praise for Dexter Fowler and how important he is to the Rockies lineup. He is an unusual commodity in that he hits the top of lineup and he runs well, which you figure for most leadoff guys. He has a high on base percentage, which you obviously want in a leadoff guy. But one of the areas he separates himself, he's slugging over 500, which is better than anybody else who bats leadoff in the game. He's got the 3rd most home runs from the leadoff spot. He battled a hand injury for quite a while with 8. He's on the DL. You know, the best leadoff hitter that we've ever seen, George, in our lifetime is Ricky Henderson.
By far.
And Ricky would hit the ball over the wall also.
More leadoff home runs than anyone else in the history of the game.
But again, Dexter is such a valuable and unusual commodity. And that doesn't even talk about what he does on the other side of the ball, playing a great center field. And he's gone on strikes again. So Edwin Jackson has retired 6 in a row. Rockies leading 2-0 as we move to inning number 6 on a Sunday at Coors Field.
we go to the 6th inning. It's Troy Tulowitzki bobblehead day. And we got a chance to ask Walt Weiss, the manager, today about when he first saw Tulo and what his impressions were of him. And he said it was in 2005. The Rockies had picked him in the first round that June.
Yeah, I tried to keep him on the big league team right after we drafted him. He came out here and worked out right after the draft, and I went upstairs to Dan and said, "Where's this kid going?" And he said, "Modesto." I said, "Does he have to go there?" And I was serious. I said, "Can we keep this kid?"
He eventually went to Tulsa. Bo McLaughlin told me too. He got the same call and said, "Yeah, he's ready to come up to the Rockies." He did in August of 2006, guys.
It is so unusual, even for a college player, Mark, and a great college player like Troy was at Long Beach State, 1-1 on Rizzo, to be able to move that quickly. I mean, professional baseball is so much different and so much more difficult. And it's not to disrespect the great college programs, Long Beach being one of them, where George played at the University of Oklahoma, the Miamis, the Arizona States, the Stanfords. But George, it's a different animal.
Well, it is a different animal, the way to play. This ball's hit well.
This is really well hit. It's going to get out. Opposite field home run for Rizzo, and it's now 2-1. Number 14 for Rizzo.
See, this ball's up. Yeah, see, that ball's up above the thigh level, and you got this kind of strength at plate. Watch that back leg drive. I mean, he squares this ball up pretty good, and it's at 93 miles an hour.
Ball one on Soriano. That's just the third home run allowed all year by Tyler Chatwood. Now 2-0. Torrealba visiting with Chatwood. Time for today's fun fact, brought to you by All Copy Products. All-time fielding percentages, shortstop. The operative phrase there, all-time. Tulowitzki's .985, matching the best fielding shortstop I've ever seen, Omar Vizquel. Isn't that something?
All those guys from that you see on the list there are guys that have played in the 90s and 2000s. There's not many guys in there like Mark Belanger. Had a .977 fielding percentage. Who, you know, that's about all he could do. He couldn't hit. But he could really pick it.
Back in the 70s, they could care less if the shortstop could hit.
70s, even into the 80s. Ozzie Smith, who won a lot of Gold Gloves. I didn't notice, where was he on that list?
Well, to your point you made earlier, Ozzie got to baseballs nobody else could drive a tractor to.
Yeah, but where was he on that list, Dougie? Ozzie Smith, how many Gold Gloves? 13 Gold Glove winner. It's down in the 20s, and he won 13 Gold Gloves.
Nate Shearholtz comes up. 2-1 Colorado. This is pitch number 81 for Tyler.
Wednesday, July 24th, Coca-Cola and Ronald McDonald Day at Coors Field. Patients, families, and volunteers will be acknowledged throughout the day as part of a special recognition courtesy of Coca-Cola.
Base hit left field for Shearholtz. Sixth hit for the Cubs. Junior Lake coming up. Right. Not calling to make dinner reservations. He's calling down to Bo McLaughlin, and they're going to get some folks moving around in that Rockies bullpen. Corpus is grabbing his glove. And now he's trying to kill a bug, I guess. Looking to save money by using electricity wisely. Find out how the little changes add up at TogetherWeSave.com, your local Touchstone Energy cooperative, delivering reliable power, energy saving tools, and more. One out, a run in on the home run by Anthony Rizzo. And Nate Shearholtz at first base. Junior Lake at the plate, a strikeout and a ground ball to third. If Chatwood can get one of his patented ground balls here. Lake can run, tough to double up. And that's a broken bat flare that's going to drop. Shearholtz stops second, tying run now in scoring position. And Darwin Barney coming up. Ball a little elevated, George, more so than we saw earlier in the game.
To me, it's probably not the pitch count. It's only at 84. More maybe just getting a little bit tired at this point. And that ball's well up, but it's running. If you snap the bat, it just happened to dump it into left field. You get that ball down about 3 inches, probably get a ground ball out.
Barney's hit it on the ground twice. Once to Tulowitzki, once to Arenado. Chatwood's allowed only 4 runs total in his last 3 outings, including this one. 2-0. Pick play, and it goes into center field, and everybody's going to move up. A costly throw by Chatwood, and now the Cubs are a base hit away from going ahead in this baseball game.
And it's very important now as a pitcher, you slow things down, back the game up a little bit. Everything's starting to get pretty quick here. That throw errant of Tulowitzki and into the outfield. In a 2-1 ball game, personally, yes, it could get you out of an inning. Personally, and I say this because I'm not trying to be critical of the play right now, but in a 2-1 game, I don't want any trick things, because this is what can happen. You know, you got too many bodies moving, and it has worked. I know that, but for me, trick plays in a 2-1 ball game beyond the 5th inning, I'd rather see the defense sit still and let my pitcher concentrate on trying to get an out and get a ground ball out. Just an opinion.
Now Barney at 226. He's batting 7th in the order for a reason. It's below his career mark offensively, but Chatwood can somehow get himself in a position for a punch out. That would be huge.
Barney's attributed to the fact of what they've done offensively with runners in scoring position. They had just 235 as a team, but Barney's just 227.
If you can get Barney also, George, you can walk Castillo and force Dale Swaim probably to remove Edwin Jackson from the ball game.
And it's going to happen quick, though, because there's nobody up in their bullpen throwing it. So you got to give him time to warm up.
in the air to left. It's going to be deep enough to get the run home. So the Cubs tie it up on the sac fly by Barney.
Well, the error very costly.
Very costly. Would have been positioned to tag there. Barney with his 28th RBI. You got to go ahead and walk Castillo here in a tie ball game. Situation different now for Dale Swaim. He'll have Jackson the way he's pitching hit and be content with the fact that Chicago's gotten even.
Jackson can swing the bat a little bit too. But you know, I always, as I start to try to relay to the folks at home and manage the game through my mind, when you made that comment about you might pinch hit, I immediately look to their bullpen, because now if he's going to even have any thought of doing that, he's going to have somebody up in their bullpen ready, because if not, this is how you get people hurt. If not, you're one pitch from a double play, the inning's over. Now you're asking the guy to come in from the bullpen. He's not properly warmed up. So, you know, I always check that bullpen down there, just see who's going, who's not going.
And as you know, one of the things about guys who work down there, as you did, some guys need
35 or 40. Other guys need 10. I need a 10.
The guy who warms up the quickest for the Rockies, Wilton Lopez. Ground ball to short. Tulowitzki throws out Edwin Jackson. 2 runs for the Cubs in the inning. 1 was unearned. And it's a 2-2 affair as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 2, 3, and 4 for the Rockies. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Charlie Blackmon, Troy Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez against Edwin Jackson, who's been very effective since first inning when the Rockies got their 2 runs. Today's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Well, it's Tulowitzki bobblehead day, so all of our information having to do with the Rockies all-star shortstop. Tulo, one of only 2 players in the big leagues to have hit for the cycle and turned in an unassisted triple play. The other is former Red Sox infielder John Valentine, who had the cycle in '96 and a triple play unassisted in '94. What's happened to Valentine? Haven't heard that name in a while.
A long time, yeah. He was the assistant hitting coach with the New York Mets. No, not the Mets. Who's he with? Philadelphia?
He's with the Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Assistant hitting coach with the Dodgers to McGuire. That's kind of the new fad, assistant hitting coach.
You see Big Mac out there. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Dodgers swept the Nationals. They beat up Jordan Zimmerman today. They scored 7 in 1 inning early. They won 9-2.
Kershaw, the winner in that. Yesterday we were talking about what a great matchup over the day would be. The other was Harvey with the Mets. Didn't check to see how that finished up. Well, he ended up shutting out Philadelphia 5-0. Excuse me, Zach Wheeler.
No, that's Harvey.
Was it Harvey?
It was Harvey at 10 strikeouts, allowed 3 hits, and Cliff Lee took the loss. He did not walk anybody in that game either.
Pittsburgh beat Homer Bailey 3-2. A lot of good ball games. Milwaukee won it 14, 1-0 over Miami.
Miami's coming here. Blackman a double and a ground ball to second. He takes strike 1.
One of 10 ground ball outs produced in 5 innings by Jackson.
One ball, 1 strike. Edwin Jackson has thrown just 58 pitches in this game.
17 balls.
Rockies have 1 base runner since the 1st inning. Cargo, an infield hit in the 4th. He'll bat 3rd this inning. In limited at bats, Blackman hitting .320 against righties this year. Here are the DirecTV NL West standings. This includes the Dodgers' victory today. Rockies began the day 3.5 games back. The Dodgers are now in a tie with the Diamondbacks atop the division. And Arizona leading 1-0 at AT&T Park against the Giants in the 7th inning this afternoon. Bottom of the 6th here, 2-2. Look out. Young man who got hit is okay, apparently.
Asking for the ball in the dirt, and he's been able to do that most of the day. He does it again, he'll get a strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jackson. He finished the 5th inning up on Fowler with 1.
4 strikeouts for Edwin Jackson, and he's throwing the baseball as his numbers would suggest. All right, seeing where that kid got hit. Fortunately, it bounced off the dugout to take a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit off that velocity. Jackson, George, is pitching like his numbers would suggest over his last 3 outings. He had a sub-2 ERA, won 3 straight ball games. Didn't look like that in the 1st inning.
No, he didn't look like anything close to that. So, I mean, you know, here again, 3-0, 1.98 earned run average, 3-10 prior to that.
$2-0 on Troy. .342 career post All-Star break hitter, which is the best in baseball since 2009. 4 hits in the series. 0 for 2 so far this afternoon. Rockies have been limited to 4 hits. The man on deck has 2 of them. And he went slider, would not give in, and throw a fastball 2-0 to Tulowitzki. Edwin Jackson was born in Germany. This is home now in Atlanta. Originally signed by the Dodgers. And Troy bounces this one to Starlin Castro.
The next Purple Monday, it's tomorrow. Wear purple, win prizes, including autographed items. The first 10,000 will receive a Rockies purple T-shirt, all courtesy of Coca-Cola.
Two outs, nobody on. Cargo, an RBI single and an infield single, also a stolen base. Cargo still being bothered by that finger, and it's probably not going to be better until November when the season's in the rearview mirror by a few weeks. He wraps his middle finger and his ring finger when he goes to the plate. And if we can see the batting glove, you can see it perhaps. He had it wrapped earlier today when he was taking swings in the cage. They don't look to be wrapped right now.
Boy, what a nasty changeup. One you haven't seen much of at all. 87 miles an hour. So 7 miles an hour off his fastball, but it's the location of this pitch. I mean, that looked like what Tim Lincecum tries to throw to Cargo. It's not a circle. Those two fingers are up on top, riding the seam, so you can really create that movement, that light movement with some hand velocity.
3-1. Cargo career .329 hitter against the National League Central with 39 home runs and 108 RBIs in 146 games. That'd make for a nice year. Leading the league with 26 home runs. Here's the 3-1. Ball 4. So Cargo will go to first. He's been on base all 3 times this afternoon. And that will allow Michael Kadire to hit here in the 6th inning. Perhaps another opportunity for Cargo with 2 outs to run here. Rockies fans join Root Sports and the Rockies in their new initiative, Hit Count. Support the Children's Hospital and Special Olympics Colorado by backing your favorite player. Your donations determined by the number of hits in the second half for your favorite player. Each player's stats will be shown online to track. For more information and to back your players, visit Rockies.com/hitcount. Cargo with his 17th bag back in the 4th inning. First walk of the ball game for Jackson. In his last outing, 6 innings of shutout baseball against St. Louis, he allowed just 3 hits, struck out 5, and didn't walk anybody in that game. First time all year he didn't walk somebody. Are in a typical West Coast game here at Coors Field. You see a lot of these 2-2 type affairs in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego. Not as frequently here at 20th and Blake. Chatwood has pitched well, and so has Edwin Jackson. Bottom of the 6th, tied at 2 with 2 outs. 1-1. Here, George, as a pitcher, there's a decent potential for a breaking ball. Well, if Cargo looks to run.
Everything here, you got to stay right out of here. You go on here, you're going to get hurt.
That's what I'm thinking
so
from a base runner standpoint.
Right. But what I'm saying, from a hitting standpoint, don't look in. I'd be careful going in where they're going. And they're making the snap throw. Very well aware in a 2-2 ball game of what Cargo can do with 17 stolen bases. That's part of it. But you have 2 outs. Don't let that take your mind. So now you can take advantage of it as a base stealer. Veteran pitchers are more concerned about Kadire than they are Gonzalez, because if you get Kadire out, Gonzalez just makes a turn right along with him.
Cargo not going, and it was a slider.
But you see a lot of guys get in a position, pitching wise, that get so concerned with what Gonzalez is doing that they make a mistake at the plate. They end up losing a ball game because of it.
Michael, an RBI double back in the first, also a bouncer to third. Cargo takes off, and the throw is high to second, and Gonzalez has another stolen base. So the go-ahead run out there now for Kadire with the 3-1 count.
And then on a 3-1 count, this is a big jump by Cargo. The throw's high, so that allowed him to get in there safely. But I wouldn't be a bit surprised now that you don't see a hard slider out of the zone to Kadire, only because there were struggling rookies in the on-deck circle. That would be the smart pitch to make here.
And he misses with a fastball in. So Kadire will jog down to first, and Nolan Arenado will come up trying to end an 0 for 17 slide. Arenado's popped to second and hit a ground ball to second. Cargo with 100 stolen bases. How about that? 6th Rocky all time with 100 or more stolen bases. And he's just a puppy really in his career. Keeps crawling up those lists too, doesn't he, like Helton?
Well, there's been so much focus on Tulowitzki and Helton, particularly Helton, that sometimes, Cargo flies a little bit under the radar, that you don't realize. You realize he's putting up big numbers. You don't realize how long he's been here doing it.
To the Rockies in 2009. One and 0 on Arenado. We'll sit dead red here. He missed with a first pitch slider. Fastball line to center field. Cargo around third. Junior Lake's throw is off the line, and it kicks toward the Rockies dugout. Here comes Kadire. He'll score. Arenado to third. He's coming home, and the first base umpire waving his arm saying, hold on, ball got in the dugout. Arenado will have to go back. Nolan Arenado breaks out with a huge base hit.
Well, you see this so many times in his minor league career, getting the base hit when it counts most.
And the young man in center field, George, tried to throw the ball at Colorado Springs.
Yeah, he airmailed this thing. I mean, right now, Cargo just got to the bag. It looked like an infielder's throw, to be honest with you. Elbow was tight to the body. There wasn't any separation. That ball had a chance to sail from the very beginning. And it sailed all right. It went around everywhere.
Boy, what a great feeling for Nolan Arenado to contribute. Snapped that 0 for 17, and now the umpires coming together, because when did the ball go in the dugout? Does Kadire score as well?
Well, they got to look how far he was around third base, and was he committed to coming, or did he come when the ball went in the dugout? That's what they've got to ask. I mean, he's already coming into the, you look right here, the ball's shooting away from him. Well, that's Arenado. I mean, Kadir's already scored. That's Nolan coming in.
Oh, wow. You know what? They're asking for Kadir to come out of the dugout. They're sending Arenado back to second. They're not asking Kadir to come out of the dugout, are they? I mean, that would be enormous. Fielding Colbreth, who's the crew chief, is providing the explanation to Walt Weiss. And we're looking off camera at Michael Kadir. He's standing on the top step. The good news is there's no helmet on, so it's not like he's been summoned. He's walking back down the stairs. So this, I think, has everything to do with the placement of Arenado, and the Rockies will maintain a 4-2 lead. I mean, Walt's probably saying, hold on a second, he was halfway to the plate. Ball in play. Now it's out of play. Now is it, and at the same moment,
is that Cargo going down the dugout?
Yeah, Kadir scored, George. There's Arenado, who's 2/3 of his of the way to third. So shouldn't he get third base?
I would think. But they didn't see it that way.
Torrealba throws out a base hit. Good chance Arenado will score, and the whole situation becomes moot. 4-2 Rockies. That's the most important element. So 1 RBI, and the second run scored on the error by Lake.
Second error he's had in the series.
Torrealba bounces this one to Starlin Castro. Rockies get 2 in the 6th inning. They rally with 2 outs. Cargo's walk began things. Arenado a huge hit. Gorgeous weekend for baseball. Rockies trying to take 2 of 3 from the Cubs before the Miami Marlins come to town. They're up 4-2. Josh Outman in the 7th inning will be called upon. He'll face the top of the Cubs order. Walt Weiss selecting Outman because 2 of the 3 he'll face are left-handed.
And 2 of those 3 he struck out. Last night he made big pitches on Anthony Rizzo to strike him out. So he's getting that opportunity again here in the 7th inning. It appears Edgemar Escalona also will arm up beside him with the right-handed arm going.
Luis Valbuena 0 for 2 and a walk. And Outman starts him out with a slider. It's in there for a strike.
With Betancourt out and making Brothers your closer, Dale Swaim holding back Cody Ransom to pinch hit because he's done it already. Where he could have the right-hander leading off the inning, but he would prefer to have that right-handed bat. And Ransom having a pretty good year for the 9th inning when Brothers comes in. So he's letting the left on left face each other.
Sliders bounce foul. And it's 1-2. Dave McKay, former St. Louis Cardinal coach. Coaches love those plays when the ball's about to roll dead. You can just pick it up and throw it to a fan.
Boy, you could never do that years past.
Could throw it to the fan. Right.
Could throw it to the fan. You couldn't throw the ball anywhere but in the dugout.
That just missed. Safe Light Auto Glass, the place to go. 303-287-5000 or safelight.com online. And 3-2. And on the ground to second. Johnny has to backpedal. He can do that on the right side. He made the play. 1 out. Time now for the Coors Light Freeze Can. Look at this play by Michael Kadire starting at 3-6-3. Great job getting to the baseball. Great feed. And then a great job scrambling to the bag. Yeah, we haven't seen him do it. He has been asked to do it. The Rockies haven't needed him to do it. Kadire in his Minnesota Twins career played a lot of second base. That's a big second baseman.
Big second baseman. That's Jeff Kent type second baseman.
Actually, originally was a shortstop, moved to third base. Most of his career has been in right field, but he's a versatile guy. Starlin Castro's 2 for 3 tonight. Did I say tonight, George? It's today.
I knew what you meant. Well, it's dark over here on this side where the stands are, and then it's light over here. So you were looking left thinking night, and really it's daytime.
Thank you. I got fooled.
I covered you. Again.
Yep. Tell you what, if you're on the right field side, you better have SPF 50.
And if you're on the left side, you better have a jacket or a sweater with it.
If you go and visit some friends on the left side, you got to pack a throw something warm in the
put your parka on and head that way.
No, I don't think it's necessary. It's 90 degrees. 1-2, and Castro didn't go after it. Long-term commitment to this young man and the guy on deck, Anthony Rizzo. 7+ years for both contractually. And Theo Epstein hopes to get a little bit more out of these guys offensively. They're both hitting around 240. That's going to be the 3rd hit for Castro today. And Rizzo's had a good day. A single in the 1st and a home run in the 6th inning.
Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPads. Download for free today.
Strike on Rizzo. Boy, he was thrilled with that call, George. Rizzo went oppo against Tyler Chatwood. Chatwood doesn't give up home runs, George. It's the 3rd he's given up all year.
Fastball up a little bit away from him. Let a big man get some power going, and obviously the result was not what Tyler Chatwood wanted.
Rockies 4 and the Cubs 2. Rockies leading despite being out hit 8-5. Top of inning number 7. Sun splash day at Coors Field. Year-old Josh Outman on the hill, and the 2-1 is inside. It's 3-1.
Yeah. Sorry. Doug was enticing me into a conversation, and I was never mind. See, yesterday Outman was able to throw the hard slider to Rizzo, went after it every single time. Today Rizzo backing away from it. He's not chasing. A slider there for a strike. Get me over slider, and a good pitch at 82. Mike Shaw Subaru Super Mo. You throw it right at the hitter and let it break to the middle.
3-2, and he walked him.
Yeah, trying to be too perfect there, but you do have the power bat up on top. 94-mile-an-hour fastball missed down and away. So now Walt has a decision to make with Escalona warmed up in the bullpen.
Well, you got Soriano, obviously right-handed bat, and then you have another lefty in Shearholtz. Walt's made his decision. He's going to go and get the right-hander Escalona. Rockies up 4-2, but the Cubs have 2 on with 1 out in the 7th inning. Base hit by Castro, and then the left-on-left walk by Anthony Rizzo. Tyler Chatwood went 6 innings. He allowed 2 runs, 1 earned, 7 hits, 4 walks, 1 unintentional, and a couple of strikeouts. Outman got the first out of the inning, but then he gave up a hit and a walk. So Soriano will come up against Edgmer Escalona.
A good fastball, obviously. 1 and 3, 36 and a third innings on the year.
Soriano swings and misses at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's 1 for 3 this afternoon. It's 0-2. With Betancourt on the disabled list, Rex Brothers is your closer. So Escalona trying to get the Rockies with a lead to the 8th inning. Then it would be Matt Belisle's turn to hand it off to Brothers. Oh, 2. Boy, that was close.
Yeah, right where he wanted to try to get him to swing because he's had difficulty handling the slider. So now if you're able to throw the fastball out there, you may get the swing. Instead, you froze him up. Let's see if it's enough of the plate. Torrealba off the plate. Good location, good call though.
1-2. Come back in, and now it's a 2-2 count. Matt Guerrero and the left-hander Russell in the Cubs bullpen. Playable. Michael Kadire came down the line, helped out Torrealba. Torre saw it. Kadire just called him off. 2 outs.
Well, he realizes the sun you're dealing with. So it's easier for Kadire to come on the fly looking up at it. Torrealba saying just stay down at first, head it the whole way. Just about 10 feet away from him.
And if your corner guys can make the play, it's easier. 2 outs, and that'll bring up Shearholtz. Ball 1 on Nate Shearholtz.
They hit in the ball game against Chatwood back in the 4th inning, but has struggled of late. 3 of 24.
Two outs, 2 on, and a bouncing ball foul. Rockies had a 2-0 lead. In the top of the 6th, the Cubs got a couple of runs. Rockies countered with 2 outs in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Nolan Arenado with the only hit in the inning. A clean single to center field to drive in 1, and then Junior Lake airmailed to throw to the plate. That allowed Michael Kadire to score the 4th run. 1-1 on Shearholtz. Slice to left, long run for Cargo. He's going back, and he'll get there. Good job by Escalona. He gets the final 2 outs with traffic out there, and the Rockies will take a 4-2 lead to the bottom half of the 7th.
Stretch time at Coors Field. And as is our custom on Sunday afternoons, we stick around for a rendition of God Bless America.
Fans, today we would like to honor one of our fallen soldiers, Marine Corporal David Sanka. David graduated from Chaparral High School in 2008 before enlisting in the Marine Corps. He was assigned to 3 MEF K9 and stationed in California as a patrol explosives detector dog handler. David was deployed to Afghanistan in 2011 and was selected to the Marines Special Operations Forces 1 year later. During his enlistment, David earned many medals and honors, including a Purple Heart and Combat Action Ribbon. On March 31st, 2013, David and his military multi-purpose K9 named Flex were deployed to Farah Province, Afghanistan in support of Gulf Company Team 3. Sadly, on May 4th, David and Flex were killed in action. Let us show our support for David's family on the field today to celebrate the memory and bravery of their son. Fans, please rise as we honor our great country by the performance of God Bless America. Performing God Bless America today, representing the United States Navy at Buckley Air Force Base, is Petty Officer First Class Mark Stallings. Please welcome Petty Officer First Class Stallings and join him by singing along to God Bless America.
Your business locally on the networks people watch. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for details. Rockies up 4-2. They broke out to a quick 2-0 lead. Cargo and RBI in that first inning. Cargo's been on base 3 times, couple of hits. He has 2 stolen bases, 100 now as a Rocky. The Rockies took a 4-2 lead on a Nolan Arenado base hit in the bottom of the 6th inning. Johnny Herrera will lead it off against Edwin Jackson in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jordan Pacheco's come out on deck to bat for Escalona, and this is a ground ball to Barney. Jackson gets over. 4-1 is how you score it. 1 gone, and here comes Pacheco.
Jordan on the year hitting .272 as a pinch hitter, 5 for 23 with 3 RBIs. The leading pinch hitter for the Rockies is Todd Helton, 4 for 11. He's the only one with the ball that's left the yard. He has 2 home runs and leads the team in RBIs as a pinch hitter with 5. Jordan has really enjoyed his experience against the Chicago Cubs. .360 average versus the Cubs in his career.
Down low, ball 1 on Jordan. This is home game number 50 for the Rockies this year, so 31 more to go at home. And tomorrow is game number 100 on the season.
Yeah, imagine that, got by really, really fast. And a lot of questions have been answered this year about the Rockies and their rotation. Matt Belisle warming up in the bullpen to come on to pitch the 8th inning, as you figured, and then I'll hand the ball to Rex Brothers.
Well, looking forward, the top 3 have been very good, clearly, with Chacín and De La Rosa and the emergence of Chatwood. Nicasio has pitched well in his last 2 outings. They need him to continue along that path. And like a lot of teams, searching for somebody in that 5th spot to give them some consistency. Tomorrow, Drew Pomeranz will get another opportunity as he begins that Miami series. Matt Garza, is scheduled to throw in Arizona for Chicago. I saw Randy Bush, assistant general manager of the Cubs today. Nothing new, he said on Garza. He said it's a long process.
Well, you got to make sure you get back what you want back. And there's teams interested, teams that are in the pennant race that could use Matt Garza, but there's guys that they're going to ask back because of their system pitching wise. They're trying to restock and do a lot of things at the minor league level, and they've done a good job of it so far.
Well, they also know they have the biggest chip right now that's out there, that appears to be out there. And Garza in his last 5 starts is 5-0 with a minuscule ERA. So he's made himself that much more valuable over the last month.
And of course, the question you have to ask, to be honest, and it's a good question, how far off is your team, and do you want to give that guy up as maybe your number 1 to go along with Woods, Margin, and him? Are you willing to give up that guy when you're a year away, maybe 2 from contending? You know, that's what you got to answer yourself. You give Jackson 6 years or whatever it was, 54 years, $55 million. You know, is that something you've offered Garza? Did he turn it down? I mean, those are questions we don't have an answer to because we're not privy to the answers.
3-2 on Pacheco with 1 out in the 7th. Dexter Fowler on deck.
Tell you what, Edwin Jackson fastball, he's hit 96 this inning, the last 95.
Another great crowd at Coors Field. It's going to be in the neighborhood of 130,000 people that watched the Rockies and Cubs over the weekend. 3-2 again on Pacheco, and that's pulled to third. Valbuena's got it. 2 outs. Fowler coming up. What's next is brought to you by CenturyLink. Tom Kohler will go for Miami tomorrow. He's got a 4.70 ERA. League's only hitting 2.45 against him. There's some good young pitchers led by Jose Fernandez, who the Rockies will see on Tuesday. Drew Pomeranz has not been good in his first 3 starts. He has said, I got to turn it around.
Kohler's biggest problem, walks.
Dexter's 0 for 3 in the ball game. One and one. Arizona in the 8th now leading the Giants 3-0. Randall Delgado started for Arizona. Madison Bumgarner started for the Giants. Cardinals earlier beat the Padres 3-2. And the Dodgers, as we mentioned earlier, beat up Jordan Zimmerman and the Nationals 9-2. They're now 3 games north of 500. They sweep a very good Washington team on the road coming out of the break. So they've continued
to
play outstanding baseball.
Good baseball team now. Kemp came off the DL today.
Hit a homer.
A lot of things going on with their ball club that are in a good situation. Doesn't mean they're not beatable though.
Two and two on Fowler. And he went. So Edwin Jackson strikes out Dexter for the 3rd time in the ball game. He has a 1-2-3 7th. We're off to the 8th inning. Rockies 4, Cubs 2. Inning number 8.
Who Wants Tacos fans, if you'd like to receive text message alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more for the Rockies Taco Special, text the word taco to 720-720. And when that happens, Taco Bell and Root Sports will donate $250 to the Colorado Eye of the Dream Foundation. Junior Lake, Darwin Barney, Wellington Castillo scheduled to face Matt Belisle here in the 8th inning.
Very good the other day. Belisle worked a very quick, efficient inning, really controlled the pace of the ball game, pounded his own, had 2 strikeouts. He'll get the youngster to start things out. Lake is 1 for 1. He got the hit the other night against Matt Belisle, the one he gave up in the inning.
Fastball just off the corner. It's ball 1. And Lake takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, he's acted like he belongs at this level, George, through his first weekend in the big leagues, Junior Lake.
He's battled a lot in the minor leagues and been slow progressing, so he's been around it. He's played some winter ball. He's been around big leaguers. A lot of times it's the maturity side of things that's keeping you as well as performance.
Pretty good start to a big league career, 4 for 7. So the stolen base, stole 3rd against De La Rosa on Friday. 1-2. Swung on and missed. Matt Belisle striking out Junior Lake in the 8th inning. 1 gone.
Very hard slider there. The first 8,000 on Thursday, July 25th. You're going to receive a Great Clips coupon. Stylists will be on hand, site providing haircuts and collecting donations for the Colorado Rockies charities presented by Great Clips. I know we're off Thursday. We're not doing any television that day. We ought to drop by and get a haircut, Drew.
That's where I get my haircut, at Great Clips. Doesn't take as long as it used to.
Well, I mean, it depends on what number you use.
1.5 now. Sometimes 2. Darwin Barney takes inside 1-1. Right-handed bats hitting just .210. Well, Samardzija hasn't seen a Great Clips facility in a while. Barney does well to foul that off. Two and 2. Barney a sac fly in the 6th inning. 0 for 2 otherwise.
Looking for the slider, was able to fight off a fastball at 93 miles an hour from Matt Belisle.
That is the hardest pitch we have seen him throw in a long time.
He set today 92, 93, mostly with his fastball, so the break did him pretty good break. Give him a rejuvenation in the arm.
And another 93 mile an hour dart. For the end of the break, George, it was 87, maybe 88.
Yep.
And Matt Belisle's been so effective as a setup man the last few years, one of the best in the game. And the other beautiful thing about him is he works quickly. Guys love to defend behind him.
Speaking of that, 94, the last fastball. And it's not so much velocity with Belisle as it is his pinpoint accuracy typically. Walks are a rarity, and he's going to give one here, a 1-out walk.
bite your tongue.
I'm telling you.
Wellington Castillo will come up. Barney to first with one out. He's not going to come up.
Navarro, the other catcher, switch hitter, will hit for him. Navarro hasn't pinch hit a whole lot this year, but he is 6 for 15. I will correct myself as I look this up. 6 for 15, 2 bombs and 4 RBIs.
Done a good job pinch hitting.
This is a little bit of a Miguel Montero type swing if you go back to the early days of his career.
Julio Bourbon has come out on deck. The only true left-handed bat on their bench, and that pitch misses, ball 1. There's Bourbon. And it's 2-0. 29-year-old Diana Navarro, who is like so many catchers in the big leagues, a native of Venezuela. He knows Torrealba very well. Here's the 2-0. 2-1. And when you're a backup catcher, kind of like a bullpen guy, George, you travel a lot.
You travel a lot and you don't get to play a lot. You get to play on Sundays. It's about the only day you get to play.
But if you catch and throw, you can carve out a long career.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you start to hit like he is right now.
2-2. I mean, Navarro came up in 04 with the Yankees, then went on to the Dodgers. Considerable amount of time with Tampa between 06 and 2010. Then it was back to the Dodgers. Last year, Cincinnati. Sprinkled in, there's AAA stints. He had it all up, and he's played more than 650 games in the big leagues. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Matt Belisle down 2-0 to Navarro, comes back and punches him out. 2 gone in the 8th inning.
Good slider down on the bottom side of the strike zone at 78 miles an hour. Took a little bit off of it, put more of a down tilt to it than he did that side move on it. And he gets the strikeout.
Pedro Bourbon with 2 outs. Pinch hitting for Edwin Jackson. Badly fooled on that hard curveball.
Got him, dropped right out of it. He threw it right out in front of him, said, here it is, trying to go after it. Belisle had offered first pitch fastballs, second pitch fastballs to left-handers. He opted to go to the breaking ball and got him way out in front.
Shows him fastball up. 1-2. This could be a tough play. No play. Julio Bourbon with a swinging bunt base hit. And that'll bring up Luis Valbuena.
Rex Brothers has been playing catch in the bullpen. How far along, you don't know. But if Rex is brought in, you'll see Ransom probably hit for him.
Luis Valbuena at the plate. 0 for 3 and a walk. Ground ball to second. And a nice play by Johnny Herrera as he flips to Matt Belisle. Belisle gets out of it in the 8th. 4-2 Rockies. Tulowitzki, Carlos Gonzalez. Stay connected this season by following Root Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We want to hear from you as the Rockies continue this campaign. Get online, connect with us now. Deontay Navarro stays in behind the plate. James Russell is now in to pitch, the lone left-hander in the bullpen for Dale Swain.
Left, right, left. That's why you're seeing him into the ball game. 15 holes on the year, 278 earned run average. He pitched very well. Matter of fact, didn't allow his first run till May 8th in the ball game against St. Louis. It was 17 straight scoreless outings over 13 innings. Tossed a scoreless relief of 39 of 47 so far, 35 2/3, while striking out 29 and walking 10. 10-5 in his career. He'll take on Charlie Blackmon, the left-handed hitting right fielder of the Rockies.
Charlie 1 for 3 against Edwin Jackson. Jackson departs on the losing side. He pitched 7 innings, allowed 4 runs, 3 earned, just 5 hits, couple of walks, 5 strikeouts. Jackson pitched well.
Pitched very well. He had the 1 inning when things got away from him. It should be a 3-2 ball game if they make the right throw to the plate. Instead, airmailing it all the way to the sky.
And Tyler Chatwood again pitched very effectively. 6 innings of 2-run baseball. 1 of the runs he allowed was unearned. 7 hits, 4 walks. 1 of those walks was intentional, and he struck out 2. So Chatwood in line for his 6th victory. Blackmon's double in the first inning, just the 2nd hit he's had at Coors Field this year. Now he doesn't have a ton of at bats here, just 16. Out on the road, he's hitting .345, 10 for 29. This is out of play. Out of play down the left field line.
Normally Russell likes to use a lot of sliders. Left on left, change arm angles. That was a fastball at 88. Second one he's seen in this at bat. Yeah, count 2-2.
About Tri-Cities last night, George. See they threw a combined no-hitter. 4 pitchers.
Yeah. Dan Winkler went 6, struck out 8 last night. He's trying to win his 13th game with Modesto. He's 12-2 right now, leading the minor leagues strikeouts, earned run average. Tulsa got beat in the 10th inning. Joe DeGardner gave up a couple of hits at Arkansas, where the Drillers had cut the lead to 4. They're the only team in the minor league system to win the first half and be in the playoffs. Chad Bettis went 4 innings in that ball game. He had a tough night. He had 8 hits, 4 runs in the ball game.
It was a rough beginning. This is interesting. Dale Swain.
Real interesting.
Why would he go and get Russell with Cargo on deck?
Cargo also hit that ball off the triple deck on him to complete the cycle that day. Was off Russell. But this is interesting.
Inning, Tulowitzki will come up against former Dodger and former Minnesota Twin Matt Guerrero at a Kent State University originally.
Struggled with the Dodgers, was designated. The Dodgers plucked him off waivers. In return, the Dodgers sent Carlos Marmol, or excuse me, the Cubs sent Marmol to the Dodgers. He's in AAA Albuquerque at this point. You know, a guy like this that's had a lot of success, you feel like maybe a different jersey and a different voice in the bullpen change and get him back to where he once was. It's pretty typical of relief pitchers, particularly middle guys.
Tulowitzki, 3 ground balls in the game. 0 for 3. Outside, 1-1. Rex brothers getting ready to go for the 9th inning. They face 2, 3, and 4 for the Cubs. Curveball misses. Troy hitting .395 coming in to today's ball game at Coors Field this year. That's the best of anybody on the Rockies. The interesting thing is the guy on deck, Carlos Gonzalez, hitting just .273 at home, .324 out on the road. Historically, Cargo hits in the mid 300s at home. So I think that bodes well for the second half for number 5, wouldn't you think?
I would think so, yes.
14 of his 26 home runs out on the road as well. Hit his 12th home run at Coors Field last night. 3-2 Guerrero working on Troy Tulowitzki. Still impressive. You talk about 3, 4, and 5 in the Rockies order. All-stars and all-star starters. Strike 3. Curveball on 3-2. Looked like it got the bottom of the zone.
More surprise than anything, but on the 4th strike zone, it shows that it does. So you can see Tulowitzki fooled by the pitch pretty good here with that lower half back on the heels already. And the Mike Shaw Subaru Supermo, but to him and the naked eye, it appears low.
Here's Cargo. 2 for 2 and a walk. A couple of stolen bases and an RBI. He scored 2 runs today. That pitch looked like it was a little wide on the 4th strike zone. 0-1 nevertheless.
If you go back to the early part of this ball game, Lance Barrett was getting barked at pretty good by the Cub dugout. Not to say that he's evening things up here. I'm saying he's been calling the low pitch all day and had a little bit of a wider strike zone than normal. 2 nights ago, now it's right before the break. He worked home plate at the Colorado Springs ball game, so he is one of the vacation umpires here. I remember looking at his name and reading it in the Springs. Doesn't mean he's not worthy of being at the big league level, though. Been that way for a little while. A lot of guys are that way.
2-2 on Gonzalez. And slowly hit to first. Rizzo flips to Guerrero, and Guerrero gets the final 2 of the 8th inning. We'll go to the 9th. Rockies up 4-2. Rex Brothers looking for 3 outs.
to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Bluebell. Bluebell Ice Cream celebrates National Ice Cream Month in July. Try our newest flavor, Rock Slide Brownie, and celebrate with us today. By StubHub. Fans, next time you plan a trip to Coors Field, head to StubHub, where you can find great seats and earn great rewards. And by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. Rockies have a 9th inning lead of 4-2. And after Rex Brothers hopefully takes care of the Cubs, we will see Jenny Cadnar. In fact, Jenny has a preview right now of the Toyota postgame show. Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Drew. We want to cap off a Sunday fun day, hopefully with a Rockies win. We're going to talk about the Century Club. Carlos Gonzalez, he was great at the plate today in the cleanup spot, but we want to talk about what he did on the base pass. 2 stolen bases for him. That makes it 100 for Cargo in a Rockies uniform. Plus, we're going to get to a little rookie relief. That's what Nolan Arenado felt when he went up to bat in the 6th inning. He was 0 for 18 at that point. He got a nice single and knocked in what's now the go-ahead run. In fact, the Rockies gave some extra run support, so chat'll do for Tyler Chatwood. 6 innings of 2-run ball for him, and that puts him in line for the win today. It's all coming up in the Toyota postgame show, guys.
Chat'll do, huh?
That's right.
Was that your work?
You know, Justin Argo always helps in there a little bit. The brainchild behind the operations, if you will.
I like it. I like it. Jenny, thanks. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. Rex Brothers is set to go. Starlin Castro will lead off. Starlin a productive day, 3 for 4. And the fastball poured over for strike 1.
Brothers threw an inning against them, a hit and a walk. He ended up giving up a run, which has been a rarity for Rex Brothers this year. 4 or 5 in save opportunities, 40 2/3, just 27 hits on the season. 42 strikeouts, and the opposition a .190.
2 strikes on Castro. Now a final. Arizona has defeated San Francisco 3-1. So they hang with the Dodgers, who won earlier 9-2. Rockies trying to stay 3.5 back in the West. 2-2. In the Cubs division, Pittsburgh beat Cincinnati to salvage 1 of 3 in their big series. Jeff Locke was on the hill, got the victory. Was it Great American? To right field toward the corner, and this is a fair ball. Blackman will throw it back in, and now the tying run will come up. Starlin Castro leadoff double. 4-hit day for Castro.
And all part of being a closer. Last 3 outs, toughest of a ball game. Fastball that was out over the plate but away from him, reached and hit it and placed it perfectly. Almost looked like saw a splinter of the bat come off out in front of home plate. Blackman plays it out of that corner back into the infield. A lot of hits thrown out, folks. 489. You see the names above him. Pretty good players.
Rizzo, a single, a home run, a walk, and he grounded into a 3-6-3 double play. He takes the 93-mile-an-hour heater for a strike.
Rockies are 2 for 8 today with runners in scoring position. The Cubs continue their yearly trend. They're 0 for 7.
With 4 hits, ties a career high, by the way, for Castro. Done it 10 times. And Rizzo hasn't been real pleased all afternoon with Lance Barrett, but that got the bottom corner of the zone. Oh, 0-2. Ground ball to second. Castro to third, 1 out.
This pitch from Rex Brothers, the one Rizzo didn't like, catches plenty of the plate, but it was the height of the pitch that he was barking about. Well, it doesn't matter at this point. He's out.
Alfonso Soriano leading the Cubs with 17 home runs, 1 for 4. 10 home runs his last 18 games. Takes inside, and it's a strike, 0-1. Cody Ransom's come out on deck to bat for the left-handed Shearholtz. 2-strike count. Brothers in a different role reminds me of Tyler Chatwood, or maybe Chatwood of Brothers, in that both aren't the biggest guys in the world. Stocky, competitive, tough-minded guys with big arms.
Reminds me of Billy Wagner.
Yeah. Ground ball to short. It'll get the run home, and a perfect throw from Troy Tulowitzki. So it's 4-3, but they're 2 outs and nobody on. Cody Ransom coming up. Ransom has not done well against the Rockies this year. 0 for 14.
Well, he knew at some point he would play this card against the left-handed pitching brothers.
Now, Ransom has plenty of pop. If you're wondering about that. He's hit 9 home runs in 111 at bats. Not making contact here. It's 0-2. Rex 1 pitch away. Here's the 0-2. Got the sign he wants. The 1-2. And another slider in the dirt. 2-2. Torrealba and Ransom.
Playing a little hockey, weren't you?
I guess so, huh? Torrealba trying to put this back in play. It wasn't going to go back in play. They're just messing around. Two and 2. 4-3 Colorado. Oh, it's gone full on the pinch hitter Cody Ransom. Clearing the mind, taking that deep breath.
Yeah, Rex talked a little bit about doing that last year, helping get through some rough spots.
Here's the 3-2. This ball is hit to deep left, but it's going to hook foul. It was foul by a good 25-30 feet. 3-2. And he walks him. Now the tying run on Junior Lake coming up. Lake is 1 for 4. A couple of strikeouts in the game. Lake just came to the big league 72 hours ago, and Dale Swaim has given him 3 straight starts in center field. Been an injury-riddled position for Chicago all year. Original starter David DeJesus on the DL, strike 1.
Yeah, Rex back out of there at 94 miles an hour. A little anger in that pitch. Not happy with what's going on in these results.
Did you find, George, when you were pitching, that sometimes you get quickly to 2 strikes, then you try to be too fine or try to make the perfect pitch?
Try to get them to chase. They don't chase. Big league hitters aren't going to chase. I mean, you get them in a certain position, depending left-handed, but you get a lot of guys out on that stick up there. They're pretty good at what they do.
Well, you're in that
situation. They get you to force it, now it's a boom. But now we're back there again, 0-2. I just think Lake's a good fastball hitter. I don't think he's a very good breaking ball hitter. But Rex feeling pretty good with the heater today. It's been up to 94.
Brad has been standing for a couple of minutes looking for that last out.
Not a bad idea.
You don't want to give away a free base if Ransom thought you weren't checking on him and took the gamble of trying to swipe second and put himself in scoring position. 4-3 Colorado in the 9th. Castro double to begin the inning. Scored on a fielder's choice by Soriano. 0-2. It's up and in, 1-2 at 96. He's got it. Rex Brothers strikes out Junior Lake, and the Rockies win it 4-3. They take 2 of 3 from the Cubs to begin the second half. Chatwood gets the victory. He's 6-3 for Brothers, his 5th save. And the Rockies shake hands and look forward to the Miami Marlins coming to town tomorrow. Edwin Jackson, who pitched well, loses for the 11th time this year. He's 6-11. Today's Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Delivery. The game is brought to you by Jimmy John's. In a 2-2 game, the slumping Nolan Arenado got a pitch he could handle, and he lined it right back through the middle of the diamond. Then would bring one around, and then Junior Lake's throw is high and away, and Michael Kadire would come on down. And that run right there proved to be the difference. Nolan Arenado coming through, breaking an 0-for-17 slot. Visit JimmyJohns.com to find a location near you. Rockies win it 4-3 over Chicago to center field. And Jenny Cavnar we go. Jenny?
Hey, Drew, it has been a fun Sunday indeed here at Coors Field, of course, with the Rockies taking the series over the Cubs. I have a feeling we have some fans who are going to stick around for the Toyota post-game show. We'll get you covered with all the highlights